Han, I love you.
I know. I know. Okay, so one Wookiee burger with Metachlorian sauce, a Lucas fart shake, and a solo order of fries. Your total will be 20 credits. I know. It's show season. I'm gonna be frank with you guys. I thought your name was Bryce. I'm gonna be frank with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not sure how to feel about this movie. Today we're seeing Solo, a Star Wars story, a movie I haven't really been looking forward to. And joining me for today's video is Zoe and Eric. Okay, first question. Are you a fan of the Star Wars universe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too. Have you heard anything about the Solo movie? The Solo, a Star Wars story.
Donald Glover.
Heard that it doesn't compare to previous films.
It's like a prequel to a sequel, right?
Yeah, it's like the origin story of Han Solo.
Cool.
I heard, like, I was expecting it to be bad, but, like, from the minimal amount of people I've heard, because it hasn't been very well, like, there haven't been huge audiences, but from, like, the minimum, like, the few people who have seen it, they've all said good things and are surprised to say that it's actually better than they expected.
Well, when you set the bar so low, you can only go so far. Who's the favorite actor that you're most excited to see in it?
Actually, yeah. Donald Glover. That kind of is what are you looking forward to with this movie?
Donald Glover.
That's actually a tough question.
I
What is there to look forward to?
Some female character development.
There you go.
Ooh. I'm looking forward to
Donald Glover.
I'm convinced Lando will be the solo good thing about this movie.
There's also somebody else. Amelia Clark's in it.
Yeah.
There's somebody else.
The guy who plays Vision, what's his name?
Yeah.
On screen, his name, and then there's that other guy who, like, is kind of well known as, like, he plays, like, white small town cops a lot.
That's a good role.
The well-known.
That's like
small town
any-
cop actor.
His name's on the screen. These are, like, notable actors.
So notable, we can't note him.
I only know Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
One thing that's been a huge controversy about this movie, not only the fact that no one thinks it needed to be made, but also the guy playing Han Solo. What do you think of him? If you have any thoughts on him?
Best of luck to his performance.
I don't know.
I don't like the look of him from the trailers, and he doesn't sound or seem like Harrison Ford's Han Solo from the trailers. But I'm only going off the trailers.
But I also think Harrison Ford's Han Solo is also just Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I saw an interview where the guy who's going to be playing Han Solo was saying that he's not going to try and be another Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He's going to try and play like his own.
Oh, he's gonna make Han Solo's own.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they could have CGI'd that guy's fucking face.
This is true.
Because everyone's doing that these days.
Yeah,
They can do
literally.
it,
If they
they
can
will.
do it, I just started to try and watch Central Intelligence, and they did that with Kevin Hart and The Rock, and it was so gross. It was so bad.
Oh yeah, the Rock on the fat rock
Gnarly.
body.
Yeah. Oh my god, he was in Hail Caesar. Really funny. Really
Who is he
good.
in Hail Caesar?
He was the cowboy.
What?
Oh, he was a
like
cowboy?
with the one with like you can't like say the wood.
Yeah, he couldn't pronounce the word because he had an accent. Not in real life. This is the
character. Yeah.
He's
So,
a symbolic
I think
charisma.
he's a pretty cool, because that was like an independent comedy. So if you can go from independent comedy to Hollywood thing. Oh, and Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, that's his name. That's
He is so good. Oh, and also
Like this.
notable is Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany. That's the guy. The guy who plays Vision.
He's in iZombie.
He's also Vision from Avengers.
More importantly, he's
And
in
also, like,
iZombie.
a famed Shakespearean actor or
Oh,
something.
Yeah, he's kind of that
But,
too,
like,
right?
I'm
But that's not a.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go watch the movie.
Donald Glover.
Felt a great disturbance in the force.
First reaction.
Pleasantly surprised.
Really liked it. Really liked the costume. Super fun. Casting was well done. Everybody, and also I think that the guy played it true to the Star Wars thing. Like there were still comedic bits. It was good.
That's good. First thoughts. You kind of shared your first thoughts already. What was your first thoughts, Eric?
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was. I think it was better than the most previous movie.
Last Jedi?
Yeah, better than that one, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't pander so hard to normies. I used that term in the previous movie.
Yeah.
There were no porgs, there were no little cutesy things to sell merchandise from.
Oh, I love the porgs.
I'm sure you do. But yeah, it was definitely more story driven, and I really liked it about that. Or I really liked that about him.
Yeah.
English.
Any other thoughts you want to share about the movie?
I don't like how there are certain parts where it's like dark and I can't fucking see, and I'm like, bro,
It was pretty dark.
Literally, like, just edit it. Just like exposure
Just
up.
just
I
don't
know
do
you
that.
can do that for film.
Yeah.
I know. So do it because I can't fucking see. And also, I'm in 3D, so I'm like, I turn my glasses one way and I see it half in like the fucking thingy, and I'm like, bro.
I think 3D really hindered the experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty dark. They could have done something for a couple of scenes. Maybe that was just because of the 3D glasses were making it darker than it might have actually been.
Oh, that might have been a thing, because like, they're tinted like sunglasses.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that might have been something.
So what did you like or dislike about the movie?
I like the overall, I guess, aesthetic of the film, as well as the story that they put in play. I thought it was pretty fitting for Han Solo's backstory. Something that I didn't really like were some of the editing choices made throughout the film. Nice. Specifically, some of the cuts in between scenes I felt were a little too jagged to say in terms of just how the transition went. So they cut from like a really loud, I don't know, jet thruster or something into like this really quiet, serene place, and it kind of pulls you out of the moment a little too quickly and throws you into something else that you're not necessarily ready for in the sense, because they'll put you in like this big action-packed scene, and then it's about to end, and you can see that it's about to end, but they just cut it either a little too early or a little too late, and then they throw you into like whole new scene, like fresh slate type thing, where it's back down to zero and you're building back up. It seems that the kind of
There's no gradual fade
flow,
outs.
the flow of the film is disrupted.
I just like the sets that they had. I feel like they could have been way more intricate, especially when you've got funding for, like 4 A-list actors.
Y'all done with your crust there?
Yes.
All right,
Thank
there we go.
you. Sorry. A lot of the time they were either Sandy, Millennial Falcons, just like bougie ass, like fucking 2 seasons ago Pier 1 imports looking like fucking lobby, and like party scenes that are like, been done over and over, and like everybody's just wearing metallics. We get it. They're the future. But you could change that. I feel like adding cooler costumes and like different party things would be cool, because I feel like parties will advance. I feel like everybody will be doing something different than standing around a buffet table uncomfortable. Humanity must evolve.
What did you think of the guy that plays Han Solo? What do you think of his performance? Because we talked before about the movie that like there was some controversy about him. How did you think he did?
Impressed. I think he did a good job. I wasn't expecting it for him to play the Han Solo that we know and love, but it almost felt like a completely different story because it wasn't Harrison Ford playing Han Solo. So even though the actor was playing Han Solo, it was kind of fresh and revitalizing to the series, to say the least.
I think he played the naiveness.
really well. But also played the, almost arrogance and the overconfident, like, trust in himself, and it's like, I'm not gonna do a spoiler alert.
I think he played the character of Han Solo. He captured the essence of what Han Solo. Were you just doing?
What were you doing?
No, but
Don't put that in there.
I think he played it well. He played the character well.
So who would you recommend this movie for?
I don't know, if you're into Star Wars. I
Yeah, Star
recommend
Wars fans. I would definitely say somebody who has kept up with the Star Wars movies at least. Like, why are you seeing it otherwise? Donald Glover? Donald Glover.
Is that what you saw it?
No, I keep up with the Star Wars.
Okay.
I don't think it's probably not the best movie to start off with, even though it is technically the first movie. Right? Would it be the first movie?
Well, I guess technically, because
Yes.
like if New
It's Han
Hope is
Solo
the
movie.
first, this is before New Hope.
Yeah. So I mean, you could start off with this, but
What if Kira is New Hope's mother? And she got Prego from the
I'm gonna cut this here.
No.
Rating out of 10.
7. Not bad. One of these.
Yeah, like a 6, 7.
This is
I
supposed
had to
be
do it to
racist.
him.
Any last comments you want to make about the movie?
Donald Glover, I love you. If you could just A, post something on your Instagram, and B, follow me back, that'd be really cool. A quick shout out wouldn't hurt. I'm fucking kidding.
Do you have Twitter?
Who?
You.
No. Or I have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
Oh my god, you have to? How are you still socially woke? Where is it?
Because Twitter is... I don't got those Twitter fingers.
Doesn't matter. I don't either. I just fucking retweet and like.
I can't do that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not the type of person to like follow people.
You literally
Or,
follow
like,
4
repost
people. One
anything.
of them is the Dory account, and you're good.
If anything, I just like follow friends, but like I don't repost
It's
anything.
the
I'm
worst.
just a
I
ghost.
hate following friends. Sorry, you guys think you're like so fucking funny, and you say something witty, and it's like super specific, and I'm like, no, Sabrina.
I'm witty and funny.
I don't-
I'm gonna assume that's everything y'all want to say about the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Solo, a Star Wars movie, was actually pretty good. Like I was honestly impressed with it. Like it was actually like a really good movie. I thought it had better pacing than Rogue One. I thought it had a better story than The Last Jedi, like better script. Both were very interesting stories, but the script for Solo was a lot better than The Last Jedi. Sorry, Ryan Johnson. I'm gonna compare it, like if I'm comparing it to the other Star Wars movies, I'm gonna compare it more to Rogue One, because Solo and Rogue One definitely both explore the Star Wars universe outside of Force users. And exploring that alternate, like that alternative part of the universe, of the Star Wars universe. I liked how it was explored more in Solo than versus Rogue One, if that makes any sense. Something I really liked about the film is that like it was fan service while at the same time not fan service. Like for Star Wars fans, you go in and you watch this and you're like, damn, okay, so this is how Han Solo came to be, and like it like makes reference to all these things that Han Solo makes reference to in the original trilogy, and it talks about different I'm trying not to spoil. Like it does things and it shows you things that are only referenced in the original trilogy, and it's like, oh, that's what that is. That's what Han Solo was talking about in Episode 4, Episode 5, and then you now get to see how that came to be. Like you see how him and Chewbacca met, and that's really cool. So like it kind of like it catered to fans in that regard, but like it also like it didn't do it just to cater to fans. Like it's quite clear when something's done for fan service, and like this has nothing to do with the narrative. This has nothing to do with the plot. This is literally just here to like stroke a fanboy's ego. Like everything that happened had a reason, and everything that happened like helped further the character and further the story. And I guess really you could argue the reason that happened was because it was for the Han. So maybe you could argue that Han Solo himself, the movie's just a fan service. But like Alden Ehrenreich. Yeah, he was actually pretty good. Like, I actually liked him as Han Solo. Like, one of the reasons I was like, this movie's gonna suck is because he looked like a bad Han Solo. He sounded like a bad Han Solo. Also, I thought that, like, this movie didn't need to happen. That I was kind of like, this is dumb. Why is this happening? There are more interesting things in the Star Wars universe to explore than how Han Solo came to be. But, like, I'm kind of glad. Like, this movie is definitely, like, to be hip with the kids and use, like, the Twitter term, like, it's being slept on. Like, it's going under the radar of Star Wars fans and, like, moviegoers. And it's not getting the reception I think it actually deserves. Like, it's actually a really good movie, really good Star Wars movie. And he did a great... Ulrich, Isengard, Alfheim Online, I don't know, Alboy is actually, like, he does a really good job with his Han Solo. How he's played and how he's written in this movie definitely shows a rawer version of Han, and how his character progresses through the film shows why and supports Harrison Ford's more like hard-ass, stone-faced Han Solo of the original trilogy. Like he's definitely like a hard-ass, like a hard-ass, witty, smart-mouthed kind of guy in the original trilogy. Like that's Han Solo, and he's a lot rawer in the Solo film, but he develops as a character to a point where you're like, okay, that like this supports and kind of gives like evidence to why he is this way in the further trilogy. Trilogy, like he's really good. I actually really liked him. And you know what? If they made Indiana Jones remakes, which I really hope they don't need to remake Indiana Jones. Stop, come up with new ideas. But if they make Indiana Jones remakes, and they cast him, I wouldn't be disappointed, because this guy clearly knows how to play Harrison Ford. Because Han Solo's kind of just Harrison Ford. Forgot to film this bit, but I didn't like how everything was kind of predictable in this movie. I guess because we know Chewbacca and Han Solo are going to be in, 4 other films that take place chronologically after Solo: A Star Wars Story, there's never a moment where anything bad happening to them left me like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like, I always knew they were gonna come out on top. They're gonna come out fine, that they would be okay. So, like, stakes were never really there. For other characters they were, but I wasn't as invested in these other characters. Like, wasn't going to see Solo: A Star Wars movie for the character played by Woody Harrelson. Like Woody Harrelson was great, but I went to see Han Solo and Chewbacca as well, and I don't know, it kind of felt lackluster at times. Like, it felt predictable, like I knew what was gonna happen. I would honestly recommend Star Wars fans go, like, I would recommend you go see this. Go see it. Don't let this movie fly under your radar. I thought it was better than Rogue One. I thought it was better than The Last Jedi. Also, sci-fi action lovers, go see this. It's great. It's got some great elements, great female characters, great storytelling, great character development, some great pacing. It doesn't take its time. Like, the moment you're in, you're like, all right, it's Star Wars. Let's get going. Let's have some fun. And for anyone who's a Star Wars fan, there's some extended universe, little sprinkles, little salt-based Star Wars sprinkles in this movie that you might appreciate. There are some elements of the film that really force the extended universe on you. Like, I'm not going to say what happens, but there are some moments near the end of the film, a particular character appears, if you know who I'm talking about, that, like, unless you're aware of the extended universe, you're going to be a little confused. But yeah, that's a little irritating, because I just got this gut feeling we're not going to see that ever explored in the films again, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's explored in the comics and in the movie and in the TV show. Out of 10, I'd say 8. Yeah. I'd say an 8. I actually kind of want to watch it. Like, I had the urge today to go see it again. Like it was really good. I would really like to see it. It was fun. You can find the links to Eric and Zoe down in the description of this video. They will be there. You should hit them up. Eric does some great photos and videos and stuff, and Zoe's got some nice fashion. She's a fashion guru. He's like a film student. Got some artsy great things. Go check them out. Okay, that's the end of this Geek Out. Is it going to be coming out close to the release date? I don't know. You tell me, Bryson Post. Okay. Let's see you later. What am I doing with my life?